If your wife never listens to you, it is frustrating. You keep repeating yourself, explaining it differently, maybe even raising your voice, but nothing changes. It is not only a problem with communication. The problem runs deeper. The real problem often revolves around how the connection between him and his wife has evolved over time. Everything is new in dating, and you both listen to understand each other. As the years go by, daily routines take over, and conversations become transactional. Over time, your wife may stop truly hearing you, not because she doesn't care, but because the emotional depth behind your words has faded. One major reason your wife doesn't listen is that she doesn't feel heard herself. People mirror what they experience. She might shut down if she feels unheard, unappreciated, or emotionally neglected. So, she may nod, feign to listen, or tune out completely. It happens in many marriages not because love disappears, but because emotional connection weakens. The way you are communicating now might not be the way she needs to hear it. If you generally approach discussions in frustration or impatience, she may automatically tune out. The tone matters. The words matter, but the emotional weight behind them matters even more. Many men make the mistake of talking at their wives instead of with them. There's a difference. When was the last time you asked her how she felt about something unrelated to chores, work, or kids? When was the last time you truly listened without waiting for your turn to talk? The more she is heard, the more she listens in return. The best conversations aren't forced. They happen when both people feel emotionally safe. Every discussion feels like an argument to her, and her defenses go up. She stops engaging. She might not even notice she's doing it. It's a survival instinct. Timing is another huge factor. If you try to have deep discussions with her when she is overwhelmed, distracted, or exhausted, it simply won't work. Timing is huge in dating, and it's still huge in marriage. Have conversations when both of you aren't tight but loose, in a relaxed state of mind. Make space for deeper talks and keep distractions away. This small change alone can make a huge difference. She might also feel like you never follow through on what you say. If she has spoken up in the past and nothing changed, she may stop listening ever again. Trust is all about consistency. You say something, then you do it. Through small, everyday efforts, let her know her voice matters. That way, when you speak, she will feel it's something worth paying attention to. The other big factor is emotional connection. Think back to when you were dating her. You probably gave her undivided attention, asked deep questions, and listened with excitement. Those things fade over time, but the need for emotional depth never fades. If your wife feels emotionally disconnected, she'll be less likely to give herself over to meaningful conversations. She needs to feel valued, desired, and important. It doesn't have to be grand gestures. It's little things that count. A touch on the arm while talking, holding eye contact, or being genuinely interested in how her day went. All these build emotional safety. Sometimes, the problem goes deeper than communication. If your wife will never listen, it may suggest unresolved resentment. If past fights ended on a sour note, or if she is dismissed in other areas, she retreats. People protect themselves from pain through emotional distance. The solution isn't to demand she listen, but to rebuild trust. Apologizing, acknowledging past mistakes, and making small efforts to reconnect go a long way. If she feels safe with you emotionally, she'll naturally want to hear what you have to say. Another reason she may not listen is that the dynamic has shifted. You both struggled hard to impress each other when you were in the early stages of dating. As time goes by, there is comfort. While comfort is great, it can also breed complacency or taking each other for granted. She perhaps will feel like you assume she'll always be there, so the urge to really communicate fades away. Keeping the spark alive means keeping the curiosity alive. Ask her things you don't know. Be interested in her growth, her dreams, her frustrations. That curiosity can reignite the connection and unlock the door to better communication. Nonverbal communication also plays a big role. If your body is closed off, arms crossed, or you act disinterested when she talks, she'll mirror that energy. Listening isn't just about the words, it's about the presence. When she speaks, be fully present, not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally. The more present you are, the more she will engage in return. Of course, there could be instances wherein external stressors play a major role. Probably she's being burdened so much at the moment with either work, children, or just personal problems her mind goes elsewhere. The situation becomes real, but again, her no-listeningness is situational, not personalized. By first recognizing that mentally she has tired herself, such unnecessary frustration is avoided. A relaxed mind reaches out to connectivity. One of the best ways to improve communication is through appreciation. People generally perform better if their efforts are recognized and appreciated. If your wife feels unappreciated, she might eventually tune out unconsciously. Compliments, gratitude, and recognition for the little things she does really change the vibe between the two of you. Instead of leading off with some complaint or criticism, begin your conversations with something positive. Just that one tweak can make such a huge difference. Key takeaways? She may not listen because she feels unheard, emotionally disconnected, or overwhelmed. Timing, trust, and emotional engagement are key. To have her listen, the focus actually needs to come through in how it's said, not what's said. Small efforts build long-term change, and she will naturally want to hear more of you and appreciate it. It's not about being heard, it's about connecting. That's where the communication really changes.